Today I'd like to share my 2 cents on the relapse word. Now, relapse, some people consider as a part of recovery. Some people fear it, think it's the end of the world, it's a failure. It's a sign of, you know, something repeating itself. By the way, if anybody out there considers themselves or they've been told that they're a chronic relapser, which I am/was, rest assured you can still get out. I relapsed more times than I can count. I relapsed every day. For a long period of my time, I woke up every morning with the intention to quit. And by mid-afternoon, I relapsed every day for half a decade before it finally sank in and I got my recovery and I got my shit together. But back to the story. I can only use my example, and I'm going to bring in the example of my younger brother, who's 2 years younger than me. When we were young, we drugged and drank on the weekends like everybody else. Very, casually, very curiously, if you will. And something happened to him that was very inspirational slash devastating to him, and he decided to quit. And he never went back. Now, my brother is not in recovery. He never went to a meeting, never read a book on it, never surrendered to a higher spirit, never studied smart recovery principles, AA, NA. Doesn't even have a yearly date, doesn't celebrate, doesn't talk about it. He just stopped and he went through that gateway. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about. That gateway that is unnatural, awkward, uncomfortable. That gateway can be as easy or as difficult as we make it. And I don't want this to minimize any kind of suffering from relapse, from detoxing, or from severing, from giving up a drug. A lot of these things have to be done closely monitored or with the help of professionals so that you don't go into shock and whatnot. But I want to talk about the common way of giving things up, which will naturally bring on a challenge for a gateway period. And I want to talk about this gateway. So for my brother, he was enjoying it. Something happened. He gave it up. No doubt that for a certain period of time, this gateway for him was challenging. He was tempted, probably felt emotional, spiritual, and physical withdrawals, but then got over them, set himself free, and then created a path for him that was away from any kind of mind-altering drugs and alcohol. Take two. Here comes the older brother here. I tried and relapsed and tried and relapsed and tried and relapsed and tried and relapsed and tried and relapsed over and over again. I did one stint in rehab, stayed one night, and then I bolted the next morning before breakfast, before anybody could ever catch me or call my name out. And then after sinking even further down the rabbit hole, I decided to get back and do a 4-month in-house rehab, which we will talk about later. And then after we had more and more relapses, and then I did an external program where I just went to see a therapist, smooth out the edges a little bit, and then I was able to get off and remain sober for 14 years now. Which path was most demanding on the spirit and on the physical and on the morale and on my family and on my life? My path. So this little gateway, if you will, let's span it out over a 20-year scale. So let's just say this is the 20 years here of a person's life. And within that 20 years, a person, lays down, boom, this little gateway right here, experiences it, lives through it, suffers through it, and then is free and moves on. But when a person keeps relapsing, from my experience, it was taking that gateway with me throughout 2 decades. Over and over and over again. Withdrawing, detoxing, relapsing. Withdrawal, detox, relapse. Withdrawal, detox, relapse. Withdrawal, detox, relapse. Over and over and over and over again my entire life. I had some successes, I had some wins, but I could never stick to it. I could never keep it sustainable, which means that it cost me years of of grind and wear and tear on my little brain and my spirit and my body to drag that gateway with me my whole life. To get it done once, and to get it done once and for all, is challenging. I will admit 100%. But to doing it multiple times repeatedly over the course of your life, it's almost insanity. We accept it as, a bunch of other things, but it's an insanity. It's repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again and expecting a different result. I've relapsed so many times, and I always end up right back in the bottom of the barrel, and I need to get back on the wagon. And then I relapse again, realize my mistake, now I got to get back on the wagon. And I did that over and over and over again for almost 2 decades. So rest assured, if you are doing this to yourself, you will rip the Band-Aid off at some point, and you will set yourself free. Try to minimize the times that you do it. If you do it, remember why you do it. If you decide to take the leap into drug and alcohol addiction recovery, be very clear on your why. Write it down and remember it. And remind yourself of it. Because that why is rooted in love. And it'll see you through. And when you want to relapse and your little brain and the little monkey mind tells you, yeah, it's a good idea to drink or to drug, let's do it. YOLO, FOMO, right? Then remember that why that's rooted in love. And it'll save you years and years and years of chronic relapsing.